Hello, I'm Regina Martinho, and last week I talked a little about intonation, the rhythm of sentences in English, and how important it is to bring clarity and confidence when you speak. And as I said in the last video, today what I'm going to do is we're going to have examples so that you understand how this whole thing works. So we're going to work on sentences. I'm going to repeat them with you, and then you see what I mean by stressed, unstressed, group words, and you will understand the whole thing because we'll be practicing together. So the first thing that I want to talk about here, the first sentence, a very simple sentence. By the way, all the sentences I separated are pretty simple so that you can focus on what really matters. That is the intonation, the stress, the unstressed words, and for you to see how it really works. But you don't have to worry about that. When I say a sentence like this that apparently is a very simple sentence, and it is, in fact, I have here two words that are stressed, and the other words are unstressed. But you don't have to worry about that. Maybe because your ear is not trained yet, you might not recognize which are the words that I'm stressing. So I'm going to tell you. But you don't have to worry about that. That's all I'm going to stress, the verbs. But you don't have to worry about that. The other words are going to be reduced, but you don't have. I'm not going to reduce it to, I'm going to reduce. Worry, no reduction, about that. You don't have to worry about that. You see? So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to stress the two verbs, and the other words will be unstressed. Let's see one more sentence together. I have a meeting with my boss tomorrow morning. So let's see. I have a meeting with my boss tomorrow morning. I have meeting, boss, tomorrow morning. So these words are the words that, you know, they jump. Have, meeting, boss, tomorrow morning. I have a meeting with my boss tomorrow morning. And then there's this music. I have a meeting with my boss tomorrow morning. And I'm going to end the sentence up here. I don't do this in Portuguese. I don't end sentences with, you know, this pitch up high. But in English you do. I have a meeting with my boss tomorrow morning. I have a meeting with my very low boss tomorrow morning. All right? So this is how it's going to be. Now, one more, and this time I'm going to give you a longer sentence. Should we talk about him in the show sometime? Shouldn't we talk about him in the show sometime? Shouldn't we talk about him in the show sometime? When I say should we talk, you see, should we talk about him in the show sometime? Should we talk about him in the show sometime? So there are three words here that will jump because they are highlighted, because they are stressed. Should we talk about him in the show sometime? I have one block. Should we talk about him in the show sometime? Because they connect all the words. Shouldn't we talk about him in the show sometime? Connected. You see, put everything together and then you gain fluidity. I'm not going to work on connections today. I'm just showing you how to stress words that are important. So here we had nouns and verbs, right? Now I'm going to work on a sentence that has different groups. It's divided in blocks. I'm an Asian guy and I've been living in the US for over 10 years. I'm an Asian guy and I've been living in the US for over 10 years. 3 blocks. I'm an Asian guy. And I've been living in the US, second block. And I've been living in the US. I've been living in the US, stress US, stress the verb living. I've been living in the US, block 3, for over 10 years. for over 10 years, right? So I have 3 blocks. In each block, I have different words that are stressed. And then I have the words that are reduced, the words that are stressed, and then I have this, what we call intonation. And then you have the music. I'm an Asian guy, and I've been living in the US for over 10 years. So once you get this rhythm and you learn how to practice and you learn how to emphasize the right word, you know how to stress the correct word and how to reduce the word that has to be reduced, the words that are not important in the sentence, you will start gaining rhythm. And when you gain rhythm, what happens? You gain confidence. So work on pronunciation, work on intonation, and then you gain rhythm, you gain fluidity, and you gain confidence. That's my message for today. Espero que tenham gostado do vídeo. Curtam o nosso canal, and I'll see you in our next challenge. Bye-bye!